Oh, okay, whenever I'm there. All right. I guess let's start the meeting. I think, yeah, we are recording now. Today is April 4th, 2019. This is the SED community meeting. Jingyi is running a little late. Let's talk about his topic later. Is Luke here yet?
I don't think so. I pinged him.
All right. Okay. So Brandon, do you want to talk about the Discovery SEDIO first?
Yeah. So Red Hat / CoreOS has been running the Discovery SEDIO service still since the CNCF donation. This is something that we've been trying to get over the CNCF. Unfortunately, AWS is killing one of the virtual machines in the next 2 weeks, which is super annoying because it's all running on V2. So we're going to try to migrate it over, migrate a new virtual machine into the cluster next week. But yeah, if anyone's interested in helping out, we'd appreciate it. But the long-term plan is to move the Discovery cluster over to the V3 data store and getting it using the etcd operator. But nobody's had time to migrate the code from using V2 APIs to V3 APIs. So that's the status on that.
All right.
Let me hear Sam know if you have the ability to help, but we'll be trying to do that next week.
Okay, so you have the mitigation, and you just need someone to help with the long-term fix.
Yeah, it'd be great if we could get some ownership on the long-term fix as well. Essentially just coding the existing Discovery server into V3 is the long-term fix. But.
Okay. Do we have an issue? This is the issue, right?
Yeah, that's the long-term issue.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
So next thing is we're gonna remind everybody about the 3.4 release target. Every community meeting, starting last time. Now we only have 2 months left. So basically, we need to make sure everything we want to get in there is there. The first thing would be looking for volunteers to lead release process. Joe, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. I'm a patch manager for 3.1 and 3.2, but I've never done a minor version release. So I know we want to do the release for 3.4 in June. I think it would be ideal if we could get somebody with prior experience on a minor version release involved, and at least providing significant guidance. And then I think it would also be good to find somebody that hasn't done one before, that would like to kind of ride along and learn the process and develop some expertise. So I was hoping to find a volunteer on each of those. If there's anybody that's willing to raise their hand now, that would be great. Otherwise, we'll continue to circulate.
Hey Joe, this is Sam. I'm definitely interested in learning more about that. So I don't have any experience with the release process directly. So I would be interested in riding shotgun and getting more involved, help you guys out.
Great. Okay. Let's set you for that slot then, and then we'll see if we can find. I don't know. It's Gaiho or Xiang or anybody that's done the minor version releases online right now. Okay, we'll check back on that by email. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah. So next item is we should discuss when should we plan on freezing development. Do we have a target date for the release yet? Do we want to shoot for early June or late June? Anyone?
We can't hear you, Gil.
Sorry, you cut out there.
Sam, what did you say? I didn't.
Oh, so Gyo was speaking, but I can't hear him. I think he's muted.
Oh, Gyuho, were you saying something? We can't hear you.
He put it into chat. He said early June for code freeze, question mark.
Okay. Sam, for that. Then
Yeah, I agree with that. I think early June for freeze and then late June for release would be good. So everybody that's working on features, think through, spend some time if you can, think through whether or not that's going to work for your timelines. Let us know. That would basically mean try and get, everything merged into master in the next 2 months. And then you have a month for, stabilizing the branch and all the stages that go into ensuring a quality release.
yeah, I'll send out a notification in the SD dev channel so everyone know that.
Great.
All right. So next one, can we get an overview of the whole previous release and the various step stocks?
Yeah, I don't think we need to get that answered here. I just wanted to, I think if Samurai's shotgun and we get somebody that's primary, then I think we're in good shape. What might be really good to do, since we've got a growing community here, would be if whoever we get as primary could, it doesn't necessarily have to be in this meeting, but maybe a 10 or 15-minute overview of the major steps, just kind of so everybody feels like we have a sense of what's going to happen. And that doesn't need to happen until we get closer to freeze, but something I thought might be useful.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, hi. I think Gyuho and I can start working on a documentation about the manual release, and probably we will talk about what we should do there. I think Gyuho was talking about he can help, but I think you cannot hear him.
Oh, great. Okay. So Gyuho, we can put you on there then, you and Sam, and then think of yourselves as leads and grab people from the community to do various things that you need to keep your workload under control.
All right. For the rest of the 2 points I copied from last time, just want to see if anything has changed, if there's any update. So looks like Gyuho mentioned he will spend more time on Plan V3. And then for the features that we want to get into 3.4, the first one is concurrent read with Jingyi. Jingyi, do you have any update on that?
Yeah, so like it said, basically it's currently in the backlog right now. We do have a work in progress. We do have a prototype that's working, but we haven't done extensive benchmarking for that yet.
All right.
Yeah, so it's, I think what will happen right now is Jingyi is going to focus on learner support, and then as we get a little closer to the release, if that's going to take up all his time, either me or somebody else in the community might grab the concurrent reads work and see if we can get that pushed through. I still think it's probably going to go into 3.4. It's just we don't currently have anybody actively working on it.
All right. The next item, learner. Jingyi, you also have an agenda on the update of learner.
Oh yeah, this probably goes together with the first item in this meeting.
Yeah.
I just want to provide a quick update. I think from the last community meeting, we said we're going to start the learner implementation at CD server. So basically, to go to the action item, or the item number 1, I provided an issue for tracking all the tasks that we have for the learners implementation.
Yes.
And we also opened the feature branch, which is not in the main repo, it's under a different repo, but in the end, we'll merge from there to the main repo. So if anybody is interested in the progress, you can, this is the information. We have myself and Wizard, CXY from Alibaba. We're working on the implementation together.
All right. Thank you. So next one, SE downgrade. Sam and I were planning to work on it, but I don't think neither one of us are actively working on it right now. We still want it to be in 3.4, but we'll probably see how the workload goes. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I know that that you're busy with some other tasks, and I do feel that this is important. So I will put as much effort as required into making sure that that's part of 3.4. Workload's definitely an issue, but I'm going to make all efforts to get that in.
Yeah, lean heavily on us for code review and stuff. We wish we could do more here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, then the next item, gRPC proxy endpoints metrics. Tim?
Yeah, this is kind of a question, and I'm not sure what the proper path forward is. So with the gRPC metrics in the listener, the main handler for metrics exposes the metrics to the proxy itself, and then we also have a flag that exposes that allows us to use a different port for the gRPC proxy. The health endpoint for does a uses client v3 and does a get. It's kind of a little bit of a backwards way to, not backwards, but it's a different way of checking health, but it's against the endpoint itself. And yeah, that's probably good. So you can see in the listener there, so etcd HTTP, the handler Prometheus exposes the metrics endpoint, but it's for the proxy itself. Mm-hmm. So what I would like is basically we have no ability from the proxy to get the metrics from the endpoint. I mean, if you have a series of endpoints, it's perhaps not as useful, but if you have a single endpoint and you want to monitor metrics of that endpoint, we don't have that capability. This feels like a bug because health does do that. So I wanted to get kind of a general feeling on that, if anyone's familiar with that code.
Yeah, I think I see your point. I don't know how I'd classify it as a bug or a feature, but it definitely seems like, I mean, that's kind of regardless of that. I don't see any objection to pass through. I can give you a reference to some code that we've used in another system to bubble up metrics from one system to another.
Okay.
It's not too hard, but at least you'd have something to crib from.
Sure.
So I'll jump on there.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. All right. Next item, multi-tenant SED, Xiang.
Hi. Yeah, I just want everybody to know that so Alibaba is exploring multi-tenant SED. The main use case for us is to reduce the operation cost for many small Kubernetes clusters. Right now, we have a working prototype. So I'm not sure which approach we are going to push forward in the upstream. So basically, there are two approaches. One is to do this, proxies. The other one is to make SED internal better. So I'm still thinking which way is better. Probably I will put together a proposal, and if you guys are interested, maybe you can comment on that. I'm not sure whether Google or AWS has similar issues, because I know you also run a lot of managed Kubernetes clusters.
Yeah, I'd like to keep track of this. We've definitely talked about multi-tenant systems before and SIG API machinery and stuff. So yeah, I'll jump on.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Xiang. Is Luke here yet?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the website?
Yeah. So this is still underway. I mean, honestly, it's been a real struggle. I've been trying really hard to come up with a system for getting the existing documentation, the etcd repo, to be buildable by the static site generator. And that's involved kind of a lot of back and forth between the two repos, the template sort of repo on the website side and the documentation repo on the etcd side. There's still a lot more work to be done. The issue is just that that CoreOS had some internal tooling to make that work that I haven't been able to get to work myself. So I've been trying to implement as much of that logic as I conceivably can, given the multitude of other projects that I have. So it's still underway. It's getting there. I think I have reached a point where it's mostly just some busy work of adding some page metadata. And a couple other kind of restructuration things, and I'm hoping to have something by the end of April.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Luke.
All right. Anyone have any other topics that you want to talk about? All right, otherwise we're gonna meet in May 2nd. See you all next month. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.